This is part two in creating an author website using WordPress. Specifically, we're using the free WordPress sites available at wordpress.com. So in the first video, we walked through the process of creating your website, getting your account set up, and now we're ready to get in and to play around a little bit with the look and feels. So that might be picking another theme, customizing the site name or the tagline. So what we're looking at here is the administrative site. So when you go to WordPress and log in, or if you've just created your account, this is that landing page where you're first starting. So it's defaulting to the site stats, which is where you can see how many hits your website gets, as well as any updates on posts, comments, or other things. So again, we just created the site, so there's not really any activity to see in here. Along the left-hand side, there's a handful of links here. At the top, you can click and view your site, so that'll take you to a preview of your site. The secondary here is the publishing, so that's if you're adding a new blog post or a page, which we haven't done yet, but we'll get to those in a little bit here. But the part that we're doing right now is the look and feel. So we're going to take a look at picking a new theme and then customizing it. So we'll just click into themes. That's going to jump out to this theme browser. This is the same thing that we had looked at when we first created the account. So we had picked a theme right away. So again, there's about 120 different themes that you can choose from. The big thing to remember with these themes is that, when you're looking at the previews, you're seeing the theme with all of the placeholder content that the author loaded. And just remember, when your content is in that theme, it's going to look a little bit different. I mean, if you have a lot of, portrait style photos, they might not show up quite the same, because you're not going to be using the images in the same content that these have. And that's kind of a nice thing with WordPress is you can go through, you can browse, you can find a theme you like, and then apply it to your site. And then once you browse your site, if you don't like how it's looking, it's easy to go back and change and to pick a different theme. So at the top of the page here, you'll see a bunch of different links. So there's like categories. So if you're setting up an Illustrator portfolio site, you can click and browse through these, and they're geared a little bit more towards showing photos and galleries. The layouts are a little bit more interesting for that type of content. You can also search. So if you're looking for something, I don't know, like a theme that's got like a blue color palette, you can do keyword searches and kind of filter through to find something a little bit more specific. Okay, so we're gonna go through and pick one of these themes. So we'll do this gateway one. So here's a little thumbnail of it. I'm interested in it, and what I can do is I can click this demo button, and that'll bring me to a preview of the site, so I can really see what that's going to look like as a web page. Again, with the placeholder content. So you can see the home page here has a really using a real large image. It's got a nice call to action in here. The menu's kind of docked along the bottom of that image, and as I scroll, it snaps up to the top. I like that. It's got what looks like some little short links to some of the pages or blog posts, and then it's got this little video clip that sits down at the footer of the page. So I like the layout of this. I think it's what I'm looking for. So I've previewed it, and what I can do then is just click this blue button at the top that says use this theme. And then I'm going to pick so I have a couple blogs loaded with this account, but if you just created one, you'll just see that here. You just click activate, and what that'll do is it'll take the theme and apply it to your website. And remember, when you create your website, it's live right away, and when you apply that theme, again, it's going to apply it to the live site, so then you can go and you can browse out and preview it. So I applied it. The theme is now showing up, and it took me to my administrative site, similar to the one that we were on. It has kind of a different look, but this is just the theme browser. But there's a link up at the top that says new theme was activated and visit your site. So we'll go ahead and click that and just take a look at what that did to the website. So again, you see there's the placeholder image up here, so we'll probably want to change that out. I have just a generic site title, so we'll want to update that to the author name for the site. and then again, you might have some placeholder content that put in by default, or in this case, there's no posts showing up. So it's very bare bones for me. It looks a lot different than that demo site, but that's when we'll go through and we'll start adding some blog posts and some pages to the site and building that out more. Okay, so that's adding a theme. I'm going to go ahead and close that preview. So I'm back here at the administrative site, and let's see. So we set the theme, and the next thing we're going to do is customize that theme. And again, that's going to let me go through and set a site name and some other details that are important to just set the theme to how I want it. So you click that customize button, and what you get here is a preview of your site along with this menu along the left side. So the first thing I'm going to go through and do is set the site name. So it's a site title up here, and then the tagline. So for this site, we'll go ahead and put the site name, EV Winter, and then below that we'll just do a little tagline. So author, artist, and animal lover. Okay, so as you can see, as I make the edits to the left hand side, they're automatically going to update over here. You can see that preview showing up, and that's helpful as so if you put in too much text and it runs it to 2 lines, you can see that right away. You can also go through and update some of the other content in here. So we'll make some changes to get rid of the cityscape image and put our own graphic in there. So if you click down, so there's other options in here. You can customize kind of the color scale that's in. There's a couple to pick from, but again, we're going to go to this header image. So in this case, there's a cityscape, and we're going to change it out. So you can click add new image, and you can see I've already loaded a couple graphics into the media library. Adding graphics to WordPress is really easy. So you have photos that you've taken. Maybe you took a photo of your studio, or you have a author photo that you had taken, and you have those files saved locally on your computer. You can when you click that button, it takes you to your media library. You can click over and say upload files, and browse out and pick them. If you have a window open, you can drag them right into the window, and it'll just upload them right into this media library. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select, we'll go ahead and select this one. So this is Evie working on some clay. So I'm going to go through, and it's showing me the crop marks for it. So I'm going to crop it so that it fits into that header space. So you just drag the selection tool till the framing looks good, and then say crop image, and it shows up right away in here. And then again, I see the preview. So now it's giving me a snapshot of what that graphic looks like. And so again, as you add your own images and customize it, it's really going to set that look and feel that are going to be a lot more specific to you, and it's going to start looking less like that generic theme that you had first picked. One of the other things as you're going through and doing this is to think about how your site's looking on your computer, but also how it's going to look on tablets or on like a mobile device, so there's a cell phone. So there's 3 little icons that show up at the bottom. The default is showing just a general computer size layout. The second's tablet, so if you click that, you'll notice that the screen's going to shrink down a little bit. And what's nice with a lot of these themes is that they're set up to adapt to the different displays. So if I click the second icon, you notice some of the layout stuff changed in there. And the phone squishes down even more, and you can see some of the layout changing. So the blog posts, the images that were originally sitting beside the text and the desktop now sit above the text, so you can see the image and the content flows below it. Also, the menu's changed up a bit to this short link here where it says primary menu. You have to click that, and then the menu pages show up below that. So it's nice to take and as you're starting to customize it, to take and look at how it's displaying on the different devices, just to give you a sense of making sure that things still look good on those different devices. Okay, so that's the main stuff that we're going to customize for the site. Just a couple other things we'll look at here are the static front page. So by default, it's going to set up your site so that your home page, so you can see it says home here, is going to be your blog. So any blog posts that you add are going to show up on there. Now, if you don't want your blog to be the home page, if you're just doing let's say you're just doing a single page about the author site, you don't want a blog, you don't want any other stuff, you just want one landing page with a bio, just kind of telling about you. You can change to just make your home page be a static page. Through the drop down, you'll pick it, and again, so by default, the website, the WordPress site creates a home page, which is your blog, and then an about page. So we don't have any content in here, but again, you can still customize that, and we can go in and we can edit this page later. So by setting a static about page, you can see that the menu is now changed where I just have a single page. And so if that's all you want, if you just want an author bio, that's where you'd set that up. And again, if you want to start out with just that landing page, you build your bio out and that's all you want for now. But down the road you want to go and you want to start blogging or adding more content, you can always come back in here and change it to default back to say, maybe I want my blog to be my homepage. Okay, so for our demo here, I'm going to go ahead and leave the blog as the home page. But again, just keep in mind you don't have to. If you don't want a blog, you can certainly just set it to a static page and pick that about one, and we'll go through how to edit that in the next video, but that's always an option. Okay, so that's it for customizing. Again, we're just getting up and running here, so we're not going to dig into all the different features in here. Certainly, you can explore more if you want to play around with the different colors and background. You can certainly do that. But for now, we're just going to hit save and publish. And that's going to update. So again, this is a preview of all those different settings. You can toy around with this and it won't actually make any changes to your site until you hit that button. So once I've saved it, I can close out of this. It'll take me back to my dashboard. And again, if you remember the view site at the upper left here, let me just a quick link out to my website. And you can see that it's now updated my header to that image. It's given my site name and my tagline. And then again, I don't have any content loaded on the site, but we're starting to build out that look and feel for it. Okay, so that's the end of the second video. So up next we'll look at actually building out some content. So we'll talk about customizing the about page, creating a contact page, and then doing a blog post too. Thanks for watching.